What?
Hi there, I will be reviewing several paint pens, in particular their use on polymer clay, resin, dominoes, and wood chips. I have been using paint pens for a while now on my polymer clay and resin. I use the Sharpie oil-based paint, and it is still my favorite. It always was my favorite. It still is, even after all these reviews. The problem is that the Sharpie only comes in very limited colors, so I thought I'd go out there and see what else might work, and I wanted to share my results with you. So first I'm going to show you the pens that I'm reviewing, then I will show you the media that I will be experimenting on, and we'll go from there. So the first pen is an alcohol-based pen, and it's the Copic Sketch. Here it is. It is about $5 a piece. There is the Copic Ciao, which is a smaller version of this, and that's about $3.50 each. If you can find the Ciao, I would recommend going with that because they are both refillable, and you can replace the tips on both of them. So the only difference is you might have to refill the Ciao a little bit more often, and it's cheaper. But anyway, this is a Sketch. Both of them have a paintbrush tip and the chisel tip. I should have mentioned that the Sketch has 358 colors in the line, which is unbeatable. There are no other paint pens that I've seen that have that kind of number. The Ciao line only has 180, which is still just ridiculously a huge number of colors. Okay, so that's the Copic. The next is another alcohol-based paint pen, and this is the Blick Studio. You can buy them at dickblick.com, or if you have a Blick store near you, you can find them there. This has a fine tip and a broad chisel tip. These are about $1.95 a piece, and there are 96 colors and a colorless blender. Okay, next is Craftsmart. This you can find at Michael's, and I tried to find out how many colors there actually are of these paint pens, and I think there are about 18, I'm not sure. This is the finest tip they have. This is their fine tip. And I'll be honest with you, I can't remember how much I paid for this, but you can always get your 40 to 50% off at coupon at Michael's, and so these are a pretty economical option. This isn't, again, so these three are the alcohol-based paint pens. Next we'll do the oil, and of course there's the Sharpie oil-based paint. I have tried the Sharpie water-based paint, but I found that the colors were so muted that I just tried one. I didn't care for it, and I've just been going with the oil-based since. So this is the Sharpie oil-based paint. This is the extra fine tip, and this is the fine. They do get broader from here, but these are really the only two sizes I use. These are about, I want to say they're about $5 each. Again, you can get these at so many places with coupons that you're never going to pay $5 for each of these. Unfortunately, there are only 8 colors in the extra fine, and there are 15 colors in the fine. Okay, the next oil-based is the Deco color. You can get these Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann, and Blick. Blick has more colors available. And this is the extra fine tip, similar to the Sharpie. And then this is the fine. Those are both the silver. These are about $2 to $3 each, and there are 16 colors in the extra fine and 30 colors in the fine. Next is the next two are water-based paints, and this is the Montana brand acrylic water-based paint marker. This is their extra fine tip. Ooh, I have such a hard time getting this one off. There it is. I've only found these at Blick's. And these are a little more expensive. These are about $5 to $7 per marker. There's 12 colors in the extra fine and 24 in the fine. I don't have an example of the fine, I'm sorry. I just wanted to invest in one of these. They were a little on the pricier side. This can also be refilled, and I believe the tips can also be replaced on these. So these are also a investment like the Copic. And the last one I will be reviewing is the Tombow. This is a water-based, and it has two tips as well. This is the, I guess that would be a fine tip, and this has the paintbrush tip. Now the Tombow is about $2 a marker. There's 96 colors and a colorless blender. I really like these pens. You'll find that they didn't work so great with these media, but that's okay. We'll talk about that. My daughter wanted her Lion Squishy in the shot here. So let me move these. I will talk about these two in just a moment. First I wanted to show you what we'll be working with. This is a wood chip. This side has been sealed with Mod Podge, and this side has been sealed with Liquitex. I had the same results regardless of whether it was sealed with Liquitex or Mod Podge. Here's rather squishy. And this side is unsealed. We'll be looking at dominoes. This is one that was sealed by Mod Podge. This was not. And then of course there's, and I'm sorry, both of these on this side were alcohol inks and stamped, and then stamped over again with StazOn. And these will be untreated sides of the domino. We're going to look at all of these. Thank you, sweetie. This is just a cutout of polymer clay. This is original formula Sculpey. And then this is sort of a fail resin that I had in white. I'll show you, I also did all of this on clear. These are just some fail pieces. And I'll show you that as well if we see some differences. Okay. So let me just quickly show you. These are two pieces that I painted with a few of these brands. And let me start with the Hello Kitty. Thank you, honey. Thank you. This black is Copic, as is the red. And you'll see that the black had excellent coverage. This was a white resin pour. Thank you, sweetie. Sorry. And the only issue I had is, and we'll talk about this because this is a huge issue with the Copic, is that you can see a lot of streaking. I went into Blick and was talking to them about the streaking. You can't see it in the black, but you can see it in the red. And they said what you can try to do is paint in small circles. So I will be trying to do that and see if that clears up some of this streaking. The Toro I painted with the Blick paint pen. And this is the second layer. This is the primary layer that I did. And I went over it a second time because of all this streaking. And you can see it. I had hoped the second layer would clear it up, and it didn't. I think I can get away with it on a Toro, but otherwise I can't. So again, I will try the small circles to see if that clears up. Okay, so let's start with polymer clay. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. There we go. And start with the Copic. I have fallen in love with these brush tips. And I'm just going to paint this side. And the coverage is nice, but as you can see with the Copic, there's still some amount of streaking. I guess I could try these smaller circles here. I still see streaking. I probably need to be a little more patient about that. So that is still an issue with the Copic on the polymer clay. Next we'll do the Blick. I'll go with the fine. Now the Blick is another alcohol-based paint pen, but I have found that it on polymer clay works quite well. You're going to see a little bit of streaking, but nothing like the Copic. Oops, I got out of, see? And this is exciting for me because this comes in so many colors. Next I'll show you the Sharpie. I'm going to show you the oops, I'm sorry. Here I was going to show you the fine tip. Let me do that. Sorry about that. Here's the fine tip Sharpie. Now the gold I found is a little different than the rest. It's very watery and I'm not a big fan of the color, but here we go. Oops. That of course works really well. I'm seeing actually a little bit of streaking, but I think that is the nature of the gold. I'll show you the blue. And you'll see that that is not such an issue. There we go. Beautiful. Like I said, this is still my preferred paint pen. And I'm about to be visited by a cat here. This is the Deco color. The Deco color again is another oil-based. I'm sorry, 1 second. I need to get rid of a cat.